Hi, it's Health Coach Lisa here, and welcome to day 3, where we talk about making meals simple and helping you not feel intimidated or chaotic in the week because meals have to happen and we all have to make them over and over again. And I know it can be frustrating, and I know many of you don't like it. So this week, I hope to help you a little bit. So, yesterday we talked about having a plan, and that is key. That if you come up with a plan ahead of time of what you want to make, then the rest of the week is so much easier. But how do you make the plan? You have to have some sources. So, that's what our topic is today, finding good sources. Now, I have a few that I go to, and I'll try to drop them into the description area. I like damndelicious.com. Honestly, and every single recipe has been delicious. And if I have not made a plan and I'm at that, oh my gosh, what are we going to make for dinner? I will go to that site and I might say, oh, I have a pack of chicken. What am I going to do? And I'll plug in chicken. All the recipes come up. I find one that I have the ingredients for, and I know that we're going to like it. That's a solid website. You will see it pop up from time to time on my Monday meal plan recommendations that come out at bringingbackdinner.com. So another one I use is Minimalist Baker, and that's vegan and it may be vegetarian, but vegetarian vegan. And then I use Half Baked Harvest and Love and Lemons and the Food Network. And I like eatingwell.com. That's actually one of my favorites as well. And one source that I think is just a great one that people are not really well aware of is Pampered Chef. So they're a company that sells gadgets and cookware. I have a lot of their stuff and love it. But they have a recipe area. And what's nice is I believe these recipes were created so they could do home parties and do them at the home parties. And the idea is that as you make this food in front of people, they'll want to buy all the stuff, which is true. That is probably why I have so much stuff. But the recipes are easy. They taste good. They work well and have really minimal effort. And people think you've gone way out there to do it. So I've made some of those where people have just been like, oh my gosh, this was amazing. Or like, yeah, I worked so hard. And I didn't. So Pampered Chef has recipes. Definitely use it. Now, when you're looking at your internet sources, which is just one of the sources that I use is the internet, you do want to look at things like the reviews, the stars. So if you're someone who just really isn't sure if a recipe is good or not, that's kind of not your thing, rely on what other people say. So at the top of most recipes, there'll be stars. If it has 2 or 3 stars, skip it and just don't do that one. Look at what the reviews are. Now, occasionally the reviews will be something like, it's not the way my grandma made it, 1 star. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't mean it's a bad recipe. No. So do read some of the reviews, look at the stars, and helping you choose sources that are good online. Now, your taste may not be like mine, and so you might like other sources online, and that's where the Food Network is really good. But the Food Network is not always a good recipe, and sometimes you see 2 and 3 stars on things, so even there you want to look through. And what I recommend, if that's a go-to for you, is to find a few chefs that you really rely on, that you really like their food and know that it'll be good every time you try it, and kind of just circle through their recipes. Now, another source is magazines. So this is something I just have gone back to, that life is so chaotic feeling, it seems, and I feel like we're always having digital things kind of interface, and I know I personally struggle with scrolling too much and spending too much time. So I subscribed to a few paper magazines, and then I will, around 3:30, when I sort of transition from my morning work and activities, and before I get into the evening ones, I'll sit down with a hot cup of tea in my magazine. I just have this wonderful moment to myself. It's very refreshing. It helps reset myself for the evening and helps things feel less chaotic. But in these magazines, there's so many good recipes. And you could pick a magazine like the Food Network actually has a magazine, so you can have a paper version. Now, what I recommend is that if there's something that stands out to you that looks really good, put a bookmark in it, just a scrap of paper or something that sticks out the top. Sometimes I dog ear, but it's harder to find sometimes. And then if it's something I know I want to make relatively soon, I will make sure that that magazine is somewhere near the kitchen and near where I'm going to do my meal planning so that I can refer back to it, because I have spent ridiculous amounts of time looking for a magazine because I know the recipe's somewhere, right? And so to save you the trouble, mark it and put it near. But magazines are great. I use Better Home and Garden and Real Simple, because I love all the DIY things. And Magnolia has some really good recipes as well. Eating Well was a magazine, and I miss it more than I can say. So I am glad that it's still available online. So a third source for you is cookbooks. Now, we used to all have tons and tons of cookbooks, and if you only just have one really good cookbook, that's fine. But to take a little time and to flip through, and you can treat it like you do the internet if you don't love perusing cookbooks. Say you have a pack of chicken, so just go to the back and look up chicken and think, that sounds good. That one sounds good, and then go to the recipe and check it out. Then make your grocery list from that. Put a bookmark in. Now, one thing that I do is I do use paper and pen. I find that when we remember more, and I like to have it where I can see it all in one big place. And so I will go in and I'll write down, let's say, meatloaf. Well, that one's on my website, but I might make meatloaf, bringingbackdinner.com. Then I might put something like sheet pan chicken, Better Homes and Garden, April 2024. And so what I've done is that give myself a memory cue so that when I'm looking over my sheet to decide what I'm going to make each night, I also can remember where it is, where the recipe is, to make it easier for myself. So this all goes back to that plan that we talked about a couple days ago. Is if we have a plan, we have good sources, and then we write out or type out, but have it somewhere where you can have your meals and where they come from. That's the largest part of the battle. The other part is your time. And so when you're choosing your recipes, if you need them to be 30 minutes, I would put that in the searches online and say 30-minute meals shrimp, 30-minute meals vegetarian, and see what you can do to keep your meals within the time frame that you need it to be in. If you have a little extra time, there are lots of great recipes. So we need a plan, and we have to have a good group of sources to help us in creating that plan. And those are the steps that will help you. And I believe that we can make dinner time accessible and less chaotic for you. So as always, drop questions and comments below. Reach out to me if you have questions. And your challenge for today is to come up with 4 sources that you could repeatedly go to easily make your plan, to make your grocery list, to make your meals more simple.